All right, we're good. We should be good now. Hold up. I hope we're good now. So what did I end up unmuting? Oh, no, I know what it is. All right, man. Every time I think, dude, it's gonna be good. We're gonna have no issues. Gonna have no issues whatsoever. All right, every single time, bro. I sit here and I'm like, it happens. Something happens. It wouldn't be a Scott Sullivan MMA stream without one of these weird situations, I'm sure. Anyway, what I was saying, we were supposed to be seeing Alex Stein fighting Mo Dean. That did not happen because I guess Misfits decided they wanted to get mad for Mo Dean. Mo Dean, like, he was mad about the joke. Alex ended up throwing some turkey hot dogs, not pork hot dogs, which would have been against his religion, but he threw turkey hot dogs on Mo. And what I was saying back when you couldn't hear me is that my understanding of Islam, and I am in no way, shape, or form an expert on this, right? I tried to listen to the Quran just to say that I've done it, and I think I got like 10 minutes in before I was like, nah, this is I can't stand this. I don't want it, right? But um, from my understanding, right, which as I said is incomplete, in order for it to be a sin under Islam, in order for it to be haram, I guess it's supposed to be something that you choose to do. So you willingly decide you're gonna touch a pig or touch any kind of pork product. You willingly decide to ingest it in some way, shape, or form. Um, and my understanding is that if it's something that's done to you against your will, or if you genuinely like were not aware or anything like that, um, then you're good, right? So I think that's a little bit interesting. Now, I can understand why Mo Dean would still be upset about that. As a religious man myself, who if you touch the right buttons, I will be like, hey, shut your mouth, you know. I can to a degree understand why Mo Dean would still be upset, right? Because it's still, for one thing, do you really want to take the chance? All right. But for another thing, it's more of like um, it's an insult, right? But here's the thing: it's supposed to be insulting. There is a fight going on. There is a match going on between two guys. They're going to be boxing each other. They're going to be throwing hands at each other. All right. Um, when it comes down to it, like anything that's said or done before the fight is going to get solved during the fight. So there is no such thing as too far, man, too far. Too far would be like you show up and you vandalize the dude's house. Too far would be like you try and murder somebody. That would be too far because that's bringing other things into it, right? But when it's two guys who are just going at each other like that and they're going to end up getting to settle there's nothing wrong with it in my opinion, right? If somebody sat there, right, and I was fighting somebody and they were like, Christianity sucks. If that was their move, I'd be like, all right, now I'm gonna beat your ass in the name of Jesus. I don't know what to tell you, dude. You know, I'm not gonna be like, whoa, fuck, dude, like he insulted Christianity. That's not cool, bro. That's not cool, bro. The stream's starting. I'm gonna fill you in on how we're gonna do the stream in a second, but um, I'm not gonna sit here and get like upset like that, and I'm not gonna demand that anybody like get taken off a card. And respect to Mo Dean for not demanding that he end up getting taken off the card, meaning Alex Stein, right? Respect. When it comes to influencer boxing, the thing that's going to kill influencer boxing is not going to be the influencers. The worst thing you could say about them is that sometimes they need to be able to hype fights a little bit better. That's the most you could say about the influencers. At the end of the day, they're still getting in there, taking their shirts off, and throwing hands with another person. So respect. But when it comes down to it, the death of influencer boxing is going to come from these promotions that pop up. They put on lackluster fights a lot of the time. And the influencers, like when they do decide they're going to get like interesting, when they decide they're going to be entertaining, they end up getting punished for it, right? That's going to be the death of it. And the Alex Stein thing, right? You can say what you want about the Froggy Fresh thing. I consider Creator Clash to be a little bit different than, Misfits, but like the Alex Stein thing specifically is going to have a really, really bad effect, right? Because it's setting a precedent that you can go too far. And if you tell people, hey, if you go too far, we're going to kick you out 2 days before the fight because you hyped up a press conference too good, right? If people have that on their mind where they think you're going to kick them out for something like that, then they're going to be really, really careful, and it's going to be really, really boring. The fight game has become too soft, and a lot of these influencers, even when they do try and hype fights, it sucks. A lot of these guys suck at hyping fights. I'm going to be honest with you. Like B. Dave, Nick LOL, or Nick Roffle, or whatever his name is, right? Nick LMAO. They like no legitimate hate towards them. I'm sure they're nice guys. They can't hype fights for shit. I don't care about their fight. We're literally about to have a 4-way boxing match. I have never seen anything like that in my entire life. We're gonna have a 4-way boxing match, okay? And we're sitting here. We're I'm just not interested. I'm just being honest. I'm just not interested in it. I don't find it to be interesting because these guys, they're just like, they're cardboard. Their personalities are cardboard. It's terrible. It's awful, But it is what it is. Wait a second. Whoa, hold up. Did they got Alan Belcher fighting Chase Demore? All right, that's interesting. All right, so it started, okay? The fights haven't started yet. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm taking a bit of a chance here, all right? I'm going to show the fights on the stream, okay? I have a plan for that, but I'm only going to show the fights. I'm not even going to show in between rounds, most likely. I'm literally going to, I'll show you what the plan is, all right? Whoops. Excuse me. Sorry. Like I said, it wouldn't be a Scott Sullivan stream if there wasn't that issue. So this is the plan right now. Okay, I'm basically gonna do that when the fights are on, right? And I'm reacting to the fights. Okay, to my understanding, that falls under that falls under fair use. My understanding of it. Maybe I'm wrong. Basically, I asked some people who were involved with the card. They said that it was probably okay. Probably okay. Potentially. Probably okay. All right. So I'm just trying to be as careful as I possibly can be. All right. I want to show the Happy Punch prelims if I have the ability to. That's what we're here for. I don't even care about the main card. I'm going to be honest with you. Depending on how fast these things go, maybe I'll buy the pay-per-view or something like that if I can figure out how. It's on the DAZN app or something like that. Live on DAZN and DAZN pay-per-view, yeah. Oh, no, wait. No, I'm looking at Joshua versus White, too. If we're really that interested in it, depending on how quick this goes, I don't want to clock in at under an hour, right, for a stream. What's the point in that? Maybe we'll check out a couple of the fights. But for now, it's just going to be the Happy Punch prelims. There's our man, Keem. I know you can't see him right now, but he is in the building. And yeah, we're just going to do our thing. Excuse me, jeez. Yeah, I can show them. Turkey Tom streamed it once. What's going on, Lance? What's going on, Tie-Dye? I know your real name is Tyson, right? And I know you're probably not going to want to be called Lance for the rest of your life. I know you're probably going to get sick of that if you haven't already. But it feels weird calling you Tyson. What's going on though, dude? Sifu Scott's soldiers. Oh boy, that's what I'm gonna call my fan base. Oh, all right, here we go. So we have Magic Crasher versus Jack Grady. All right, they're up first. What's going on, Sylvia? You doing okay? Yo, Scott, thanks for showing off the cool little logo. Oh, dude, thanks for making it for me. For those of you that don't know, this is this logo right here. This art was made by Jehovah on Twitter and Instagram. Jehovah spelled with an O, not an O. What the hell? A zero. Excuse me, not Jehovah spelled with an O. Jehovah spelled with a zero. Okay, I spelled it the right way on the thing. You can see it. But all right, so we got Jack Grady. Gonna go ahead. I think I'll try it now. Hopefully, I won't end up hopefully, it won't end up going. So Jack Grady is the reason why I wanted to do this. Okay. I wish he was a little bit further up in the card, right? But Jack Grady is the reason I still wanted to do this after Alex Stein, because for one thing, I know Jack Grady. I'm not like best buds with him or anything like that, but also Lance knows Jack Grady, and we didn't know this. We didn't know that we both know this guy and that we both talked to this guy until after the tank. It was a funny coincidence, but I first got in contact with Jack because I found him through another guy named Jack Grady who was in the bare knuckle boxing world. When I saw that this Jack was going to end up having a fight, I was like, oh, dude, totally. Let's I want to help him if I can. So I inboxed him, and, he'd send me footage of him sparring and stuff like that. He'd ask me for some tips and stuff like that. Excuse me. Dude, he got in the wrong corner. Oh, and you know what? Excuse me. You guys can hear that okay, right? If something is copyright protected, you'll get a little notice telling you to switch it off in 30 seconds before YouTube cuts the feed. It comes back after like a minute. Okay, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. I got too many notifications. So, Jack's a pretty tough kid. I saw him sparring. Oh, dude, what? Oh, alright. Scott, you're my commentary for the fights. Here's your commission. Let's go, Jack Grady. He is an OG fan of mine from 1 year ago. Oh, man, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Lance. I really appreciate that. Alright. The DAZN announcer reminds me of the Glory kickboxing one. Glory is on DAZN, I'm pretty sure. They might be the same. They might be the same ones. I don't know. It's possible. Oh man, this is a small ring. This is a pretty small ring from the look of it. All right. I'm a little bit nervous, not gonna lie. It's all. I always get a little nervous watching somebody that I have like some kind of stake in. It's not like I was like with this guy through his whole camp. It's just like, I like his content for one thing. His content is hilarious. Look up Jack Grady Magic on Instagram. But in addition to that, it's I tried to help him as best I could, right? I'm hoping he took the advice. He had a good coach. I saw the way his coach works. He has a good coach. All right, Jack. So some jabs, Magic Crasher, trying to get at it right away. So Magic Crasher trying to push. That's a little bit weird. I don't think it was the worst thing in the world though. Wow, that was an awful jab though. All right, Jack. Yeah, somebody's saying go to the body. I think Jack should go to the body. There he is. See, one thing you'll notice about Jack is when he gets hit, he doesn't care. I'm not like that. When I get hit, I'm like, all right, let's get out of here, let's regroup, and let's find another way. Jack, he'll just move forward into it, and he'll get hit, and he'll be like, whatever. So, Magic Crasher is trying to tie up the hands and then throw punches. That's not even the worst thing in the world. It's just he doesn't know how to do it effectively, right? Those punches to the body aren't going to do much. Now, Jack, I don't know if he's trying to take it easy or not, to not burn himself out. I would like to see a little bit more urgency out of him. I know he can throw a little bit harder than he is, but I think he's probably afraid that I think he's probably a little bit afraid that he's going to gas out, which, I mean, that's a real possibility, If in this round, there's nothing wrong with him taking it easy and letting Magic Crasher kind of do his thing. Right now, I'm not exactly sure who is winning. I'd say it's pretty even, but either one of them could pull ahead. If Jack keeps going with that double jab cross, I think he could take this, especially because Magic Crasher already looks tired. Rocky Stream, thank you so much for the donation, man. I really appreciate that. Oh. The Magic Testicle. The Magic Skinhead. Yeah, you can see the Magic Crash is getting a little bit more meek. He's getting walked down, right? And it's like I said, like, all the sparring footage I saw of Jack was him just moving forward, getting hit, and not reacting at all. It's crazy. He's like, he's a tough kid, you know? Yeah, his coach is yelling 1, 2, 3 from Jack. He wants him to go jab, cross, hook. That wouldn't be bad, you know? Magic Crash. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ah, man. You see, that was a smart move from Magic Crasher. He said something to him. I don't know what he said, but that was a smart move from Magic Crasher. Was you know, try and tie up. Bopped him. Yeah. You see, that is how you use a push, right? You see the referee was like, don't push. He didn't stop him from doing it, though. He didn't stop the action and warn him or anything like that. And he's about to do it again, I bet. Yeah. I don't know if the Magic Crasher ever I don't know if the Magic Crasher ever I don't know if he ever sparred. Maybe he did a little bit, but probably not enough, you know, because the way he is right now, I understand that he's a little what is he? I understand that he's a little tired, right? Actually, probably very tired. But he's doing things that he really should not be doing, you know? He's probably nervous and he's scared, you know? It sucks getting tired in a fight, dude, because there's a saying, I believe it was Dan Gable, who is a wrestler from Iowa, one of the best to ever do it. Fatigue makes a coward of us all. And I know, because I've felt that before. Legit. One of the fights of mine on YouTube, if you track it down, I end up losing, not because I actually, like, legitimately got hit, but because I didn't train for it at all, and I was fucking chain smoking cigarettes the whole camp, and I got tired, and I was just like, dude, this sucks. I ain't trying to do this. So, Crasher's, oh, alright. He's going for it. I think this, I know Joke think this is his last ditch effort. I think he's going to burn himself out, and he's going to end up getting picked apart by Jack. Like I said, Jack's a tough kid. Like, for real. You know, I got nothing but respect for him. Looking like a fight in a high school bathroom. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. 2 adult high schoolers. And yeah, Lance, fucking influencer boxing is like, it's fun to watch, but every now and again it is a little hard to watch. Oh, man. I think he fell over from fatigue. I think he's quitting. I think he's about to quit. You know, not even trying to talk like smack at all. Oh, did he? I didn't see if he reached the 10 count or not. So there we go, Jack. Good job, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, like, no disrespect to the Magic Crasher at all, alright? I made some jokes, yeah, whatever. But, like, chances are he got really tired, he fell over, and he was just like, dude, I can't get back up. And he tried to get back up, but by the time he tried, I think he probably got counted out, you know? I'd have to see. Goddamn, he's sleeping. I heard 4 and he stopped it. I couldn't hear. I think I was talking over it, I'll be honest with you. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I thought I saw like more fingers up. You know? That's what I thought I saw, but I don't know. Alright, yeah. Jab. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, he got hit in a weird spot. If you hit somebody in this general area, right, specifically behind the ear, right? So I don't know. Maybe he was legit wobbled. You know, I think yeah, no, I think he was actually wobbled. You know,
I'm genuinely
not bad.
impressed. I really didn't expect Grady to come in with such power, such punches.
Oh,
He took care of it.
I gotta talk smack to Amber McStravic on Twitter because she said that the Magic Crasher was gonna win.
And he crashed, like you said, right onto the ground.
And right now, there's a lot of ladies out there saying, hey, maybe magic should be my thing. Exactly. Well, a lot of respect between these two magicians.
Yes, is that your wand, or are you happy to see me?
All right, I'm talking smack.
So Jack Grady victorious here, and now they're going over there.
Now they're trading secrets.
That they just had, and
Like, look, when you pull the rabbit out of your hat, all right, you have to have a black rabbit, because if it's a white rabbit, then it'll get stuck halfway up the hat. You know. Are these guys supposed to be out of shape? I mean, they're not supposed to be out of shape, but you know, it is what it is.
top hat went right on, right away. Well, he said he wanted to be the greatest magician in the world. Maybe he could be the greatest boxing magician in the world.
I'm waiting for the
He definitely.
I'm waiting for the interview. I want to hear what he has to say. You guys can hear this all right? You know, if not, I'll turn it up a little bit. I want it to be loud enough for you to hear, but not so loud that it drowns me out. You know.
I didn't want to give too much away.
Jack 10-9. You think the first round was a 10-9 round for Jack? I could see how that would be the case. You know. I could see that. You know. I think it was very close. It could have gone either way, but I probably would have gave it to Jack just because the last 30 to 45 seconds. You know.
When you have talented individuals like this,
Oh man.
the talent, I would love
5 to 10% more might be better. I got you.
I think we can.
Are they part-time athletes even? Oh hell no.
Mams, who
Hell
is
no.
in charge of the
Look,
show, says we can make some
the thing about Jack, right, is the coach he has now is a really good coach, but the coach he had originally was really bad. I remember him telling me that he went to some guy who he doesn't know where to go.
A magic trick.
There was some guy who he was going to at first, and that guy was like awful. And he went to the new guy, and that's how he figured out that the first guy was awful. But let's listen to him.
You're G7. I love you. Congratulations, brother. G7 in the building. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Jack Grady, congratulations, brother.
That's G7.
That was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. You got hands, Jack.
Oh my gosh. You know, I honestly woke up this morning, didn't think I had what it took, but I did it. I fought past the nerves. I thought about pulling out, but I still did it. And, yeah, no, I'm so glad this is done with, man.
Can I tell you something? You didn't believe, but you know who did?
Who?
God did.
Yeah, honestly, crazy performance. But
I like Fusi too,
oh,
man.
no, you're a magician.
He seems
You're
like a
magician.
cool
We
dude.
ain't gonna get no magic trick.
All right.
No, nothing. No. No, I wanted to see some magic. That was it.
Come on.
No, it's okay, Jack. I mean, look,
A magician
I
should
understand.
be able to make a bird come
No,
out of the air.
nothing up. No, nothing gonna happen. Nothing.
I just boxed
No,
two
it's okay.
rounds, and now I gotta do my day job?
No, it's true. You can, Jack. Well done. You can go, Jack. You can go. Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations.
Well done. Well done to Jack. Hey, you know what, Fusi?
Oh
He
man,
was better
that was
than
great,
Cool.
dude.
He
That
was.
was great.
Yeah.
And for this
Dinner is
this
ready,
first
baby. Time to
fight,
stop
and
streaming. I made your Saturday night favorite turkey
Can I say
dogs.
something?
Oh man, I'll be there
Say about
soon.
No magic. I wanted to. I mean, he's a magician.
Yeah.
This is the stage.
Yeah.
All
This
right.
is your time to shine
Yeah.
in front of thousands,
So,
if not millions.
That's what we came here for.
I expect him to
All right, I guess that's that. I guess we're all done now. Peace.
Like something.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, look, that was great. You know, he did everything that I expected him to do. Not to sit here and be like, you know what, he could have done better. One thing I wish is that he learned how to move his head, right? I know a little bit of what his plans are for the future. I'm not going to divulge them because, you know, sometimes plans change. I don't want to say something that he told me he's going to do, and then, you know, he decides he's not gonna, and then you guys are like, bro, you said, right? I don't want to do that. So, you know, that is what it is. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit more as well because I don't care what they have to say. The only cool kid out of all of them is Keem. It's Keemstar. Killer Keemstar. No, but I mean, yeah, like it would be nice to see him box again, right? It'd be nice if next time he boxed, for one thing, he worked on explosiveness, right? And another thing, if he worked on head movement, right? Because he's a forward pressure fighter, and this is something that I told him. He's okay with getting hit. He literally doesn't care, right? Excuse me. And that's not something you see that much of anymore, right? You don't see a lot of forward pressure fighters today. Everybody wants to be a technician and things like that. The key to being a forward pressure fighter is using the technique that people don't even think you have to not get hit. Excuse me. I'm drinking a soda, so I'm burping, right? Because at the end of the day, like someone like Rocky Marciano, right? Someone like Marvin Hagler, dudes who come from my state, we're kind of known for being forward pressure fighters here in Massachusetts and like greater New England, right? They had a great degree of skill that a lot of people don't even realize that they had, right? And it's because it's not all pretty and stuff like that. It's pretty in its own way, but it's not pretty in the, oh, I slipped the punch, now a three-punch combination, and then I picked a liver shot, and then, oh man, I'm sitting here, you're shelled up, I knock your hand down and I throw a punch, right? It's not all like flowy and stuff like that. I guess you could say, right? It's very brutal. All right, it's very brutal. It's very all right. Is this his way of trying to get us interested? Oh, he's got a towel on, dude. I hope he fights with the towel. I really do. But what I was saying was, when it comes down to it, like, there's a lot of technique that goes into being a brawler that people don't appreciate because, they just want to see the, like, Floyd Mayweather, Philly shell, slip the punch and then bang, bang. They want to see that. Really, it's an underappreciated style. And if you get good at it, if you're predisposed to it, because you have to be predisposed to it, right? If you're not predisposed to it, it's not going to work for you. But if you can get good at it because you're predisposed at it, there is a lot of stuff that you can do with it. There is so much stuff you can do with that style. And one of the foundational aspects of that style is head movement, right? And a certain kind of head movement. Not even like the Tyson type of head movement. It's a little bit different, right? There's different types of head movement out there. Least amount of followers on the card. Coach Man from WWE in the building. Scott, be prepared for the cringiest walkout.
This man has almost 1 million followers
All right.
on Twitter. He got advice.
Yeah, these guys fought in the last one.
He said, hey, I got advice. You know what it is.
And this guy's followed by all the celebrities known for making hilarious memes online. He is a Twitter superstar. We are talking about the one, the only Corn.
I do want to see how these guys have improved. I want to see if they've improved at all because I think it was 2 or 3 months ago. Might have been in April. They were on the card with Boogie and Wings. So it'd be nice to see if these guys are any better than they were back then, It wasn't like a bad fight. It was a fight that, if I remember correctly, I wasn't like, whoa, right? But I was wondering, like, I wonder who's gonna win, right? This is interesting enough as to where I want to like watch it just to see who's gonna win. If I remember correctly, I don't want to try and play it cool if I really was like, whoa, this is the best, right? But yeah, here we go. Scott, what is your opinion on the Mayweather block where you use your shoulder? I really like doing it. I mean, I like doing it, but I don't like it that much, right? And part of that is because I'm so big, right? I fight big dudes. So anything where, like, I have to rely on not either straight up getting out of the way or anything where I don't, like, I'm not relying on getting something up, right? Anytime where someone tells me, hey, parry a right hand, parry a cross, or, oh, hey, use a shoulder roll, right? Anytime someone tells me to do that, I'm like, dude, I don't like that, I do it against Sam, right? Sam is one of the few people that I do it against because of the way that we tend to spar, right? When we do spar, you know, we tend to not go hard to the head, but we go hard to the body. So I'm literally more afraid of getting hit in the body than I am the head. So you'll see me, right? You can't really see it that well right now, but you'll see me with that Philly shell, right? And you'll see me parrying jabs, and then I'll elbow block the cross, or I'll use the shoulder roll. But I'm not just shoulder rolling like that, right? I'm straight up like leaning back and shoulder rolling, right? Because I want to be extra sure, right? If you can make it work for you, that's fantastic, because it's really good, you know? Any time where you can avoid a punch or a kick or whatever without having to tie up your own hands is good, right? So yeah, I mean, good for you if you can use it, you know? I'm a big boy. I have to spar with big boys, so I don't like it that much. Anyway, here is Korn versus Unbear. All right, so Korn is the dude with the pink shorts. All right, and Unbear. So I'll say they already look better than they did last time, right? They're keeping their hands up, you know, they're throwing straights. We'll see if that lasts when they both get tired. That's some decent head movement from Korn, right? He's got the idea. He's trying to come underneath the jab and then throw his own. I was literally just gonna say that. I don't know if you could hear what they said. When you get hit hard, technique goes out the window, and I was noticing that, like, when they were really going for it, they were just throwing ham hocks. So, what Korn has the right idea right now. He's trying to counterattack, right? Ooh, that was a decent parry, right? He's counterattacking. What Unbear needs to do is he needs to start faking, right? He needs to keep. Oh, that was a nice jab cross from Korn. What Unbear needs to do though is he needs to start using feints, right? He needs to start faking jabs and things like that to keep Korn off his own rhythm, right? And then he can work his way in. Ooh, that was good. Oh, man. That was really good. That was good. I'd like to see the... I'm sure they'll show a replay of that. I want to see if there was anything special that set that up. But... Oh, wow. So... Oh, man. He's just making his way in. Because when Unbear is inside, right? When Unbear is inside and... Oh, man. Okay. I was saying when Unbear is inside and when he's not playing the game with Korn, when he's not allowing him to, are they gonna, what's going on? Are they about to take a point away? Oh, alright. I thought they were taking a point away. You know, Unbear needs to get inside, bottom line, alright? When he's not playing the boxing game, when he's just moving in and throwing in the pocket, he's getting the best of Korn, right? Korn, what he needs to do is he needs to keep his distance, you know? He needs to keep doing what he's doing, but he needs to get a little bit less one-dimensional with it, right? He's waiting for the jab to come, and then he's moving in, right? But Unbear is starting to get inside on him, so he's got to start using his jab to keep Unbear out. And then when Unbear tries to move in, try and catch him with something, right? If that makes sense. It's a little bit, you know, difficult right now. A little bit difficult to, what is going on here? I was wondering what's going on, but it's a little bit difficult to get it all out right this second. Oh, wow, they have an AEW game now. I've never watched. I'm not really a pro wrestling kind of guy. That's not my thing. But I did enjoy the video games, the WWE video games. They got Korn tag team match. That'd be great. Seeing Jonathan Davis and Monkey, and that was a bassist name, right? It was Monkey or something like that. I forget all their names. You see, he worked his way in with a cross, and then he came over and he just started going, right? That's what Unbear has to do. Because right now, Korn is really only trying to defend against the jab. He's only trying to counter off of a jab.
Korn's been getting hit left and right, but now Unbear getting a little sloppy.
Yeah, you can see Korn is slowing down right now. I mean, they're both getting sloppy, but it looks like Unbear is still pretty fresh comparatively. He's just getting sloppy, you know. Korn, though, you can see he's slowed down like drastically, you know.
Last fight, like we mentioned, with Korn being such a big name on Twitter.
Oh man. See, like Korn has the right idea. He's working in low, right? And then he's coming up high. That's a good idea. It's just he's one-dimensional with it, and he started getting figured out. He's getting figured out right now. Unbear has surprisingly good fight IQ, even though he doesn't, you know, his technique isn't quite there, but I think he kind of knows what he's doing a little bit more than people may realize, right? What the hell is he doing? Oh, I think he was trying to bait the referee to give him some time to recover. I think he is tired for sure. Yeah, I mean they're both tired. Dude, how high are those shorts pulled up? Wow. Oh, nice. That was good. Those shorts are literally below the titty. Those are pulled up way too high. Where's his... What is going on here? Nice. Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with Keem. I think they are pretty evenly matched, you know? I don't know if it'd be a draw right now, you know? This round, maybe, but there's still a little bit under a minute in the round. Last round was definitely Korn's round. Not Korn, Unbear's round. It was Unbear's round. Bang, bang. Nice. See, they both got some fight in them, which is good, you know?
But this time, I really don't know. I mean, we're both watching this. I mean, it's 50-50. Like you said, both are having their...
It's not 50-50 in the way that they think it is. If Unbear keeps this up for the last 20 seconds, I'll give him this round too. Now, keep in mind, I'm not, like, officially scoring or anything, right? Ooh, that was alright head movement. I mean, it was better than nothing. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I guess I would give that one to Unbear too, but that one was a lot closer, right? The first round, I would say I'd definitely give to Unbear. The second round, I would begrudgingly give to Unbear because I feel like he had better moments. You know, they're both going to be gassed, though. You know they're both going to be gassed. You see Korn over here. He opened his mouth because he desperately wanted some water. That's the worst thing. That's one of the worst things in the fight is in between rounds when you're tired and you just want water. You just want water, but you got to be careful with it because if you spend too much time drinking water, right, you're not actually going to recover. Because believe it or not, like in order to recover, you have to... You know, you have to breathe. You got to get your breathing under control. And if your breathing is not under control, and then you take a sip, you're interrupting your breathing, right? It's awful, man. It's awful. Brandon has that dog in him and swag. Ian probably has PTSD in the ring. Yeah, Ian probably, no joke, has some form of ring PTSD, right? Which, like, that's not, like, a technical term. It's just, you know, what I'm using to describe it. It wouldn't surprise me. Well, we'll talk about that later, all right? Ooh, that was a good right hand. Ooh, another good right hand, followed by a left. Yeah, I mean, Korn is tough and he's aggressive. He's just gotta make Unbear pay a little bit more, you know? Everything that he does, oh man. Like I said, he's tough and he's aggressive, but like a lot of those, like that punch landed, but a lot of those punches didn't land. He does a lot of wrestling too, is the other thing. Like that was good. That was good overhand right. I don't know if it landed or not, but it was a good idea, right? Yeah, double jab. He needs to work his way in with the double jab because now Korn has stopped trying to counter the jab. So, excuse me, if he works his way in with that double jab and throws a right hand down the middle, that might end the fight, you know? Ooh, that was a good idea, going to the body like that from Unbear. When someone's tired, hitting them in the body can sometimes suck more than hitting them in the head, you know? It was also like a technical. It was technical, you know. He went to the body and then he threw a hook up top. That's a great move. You know, I have to say, I'm impressed with both of these guys. They've made improvements, you know. Are they the greatest you've ever seen? Definitely not, right? But they both fight hard, for one thing. They've always had that about them. For another thing, you know, there's enough improvement in 2 months, and I mean, hey, I'd be proud of them if I was their coaches. Ooh, oh man, that's not good, dude. Oh man, that's not good for Unbear. That was smart on Korn's part, you know. That's something that I like. When it comes to fighting, we tend to think that like you have to wait. Oh man, oh dude, oh dude, he's just that tired. Damn. Respect. But that's the thing about fighting, right? Is that a lot of people, like, because we live in a civilized society where like you wait your turn. Oh man. Damn. You know what? Hold that thought. I'll try and remember it. I don't want to miss this too much. Oh wow, they're calling a standing 8. I don't know if I would have called a standing 8. I don't know if I would have called a standing 8 on that. I'm not 100% sure if I would have done that, right? Anyway, what I was saying is we live in a civilized society, right? And because of that, we're used to waiting our turn. We're used to asking permission. We're used to getting out of the way of people when they're walking towards us and things like that. We're used to being polite, right? You can't be polite in terms of fighting. You know, you can't be polite in this. And that's something I try and tell the kids that I teach specifically, because like, I was at a tournament, right, and this kid was in a gold medal match, right? You know, one of the guys that I coach, he would have taken a gold medal home, and he had already taken home one prior to that, but he would have taken the gold medal home, but he ended up losing, so he took a silver medal home. That's all right, you know, it happens. You know, you can't win them all, but one thing that kept happening in that match is his opponent kept looking at his coach. Either that or his parents would be like, hey, Junior, come on, let's go. And he'd be like, huh? And every time he would do that, I'd be like, dude, go, dude. Because, like, that kid is looking off, doing nothing, right? Oh, man. Oh, man, this might be it. Oh, dude. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean that standing 8. I agree with more. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. They'll probably. Yeah. He should call it. No, it's not over yet. I think he's giving him another standing 8. Yeah. That's the thing about standing 8s. If there's one more, chances are it's over, right? Oh, man. So right now, what's his face? Damn. Dude is exhausted. So right now, the way it's working, right? Last round was a 10-8 because of the knockdown. This round is, if it does go all the way, is going to be a 10-7, right? Assuming it doesn't end right here, and assuming Unbear doesn't end up, you know, knocking Korn out or something like that, you know? So, like, it's anybody's fight right now. Yeah, he threw in the towel either way. Yeah, I agree with that stoppage. That was good, you know? That was good. Now there's going to be a trilogy. I would assume, anyway. I would hope, you know? Alright. Now, what I was saying though is like we tend to, and this happens with a lot of people when it comes to like MMA and boxing and things like that. We tend to think that everything, like everybody has a turn, that I get a turn to punch you, you get a turn to punch me, things like that. When you back off and you look away or you bend down to tie your shoe or something like that, that it's like, oh, okay, TV timeout, TV timeout, big T for timeout, right? We think that's what it is, but no, like fight's still on, dude. There's no timeouts. That ain't how this shit works. You fucking you go get it, you know? And that punch that Korn ended up landing, I'm trying it's hard for me to remember things about these fights because I'm sitting here and I'm trying to live react to them. So even though I'm not in the fight, I'm like taking everything in and then I'm dumping everything out because I have to be ready for the next thing, right? But that punch that ended up staggering what's his face, Unbear, like that was significant, and really that could have been something that ended up turning the tide of the fight. Really good jab. Really good overhand. Those are both really good, you know? I mean, that was just a really good fight, hands down, you know? I'm not disappointed by that at all. Like that was a really good fight. I'm happy for both of these guys because they both improved, they both showed a lot of toughness, you know? It would have been really easy for Unbear to, after that second knockdown, to just be like, nah, bro. Nah, dude, I think I'm done, bro. But nah, he kept going at it, you know? Good for this dude, for real. Good for him. What's going on, Sid? How you doing, man? How hard is it to keep your hands up at that moment? Dude, it's so hard. It's really hard because you're not worried about keeping your hands up. You're worried about, am I going to get hit again? And you would think that if you keep your hands up, you don't have to worry as much. But it's one of those things where if that's not a pre-programmed reaction, is you do that, it's not going to happen. In addition to that, the dudes are extremely tired. They are very tired, right? Look at how empty that thing is, that arena. Jeez Louise. Alright. Actually, Hassan would fight as long as the person is shorter than 5'10". Yes, he would. Brandon versus Hassan would be a good fight. I don't know. I feel like Hassan would I feel like Hassan might be willing to take a fight with Brandon only because Hassan is the type of dude who I guarantee you would be like, oh, dude, but like, Brandon's got like no muscle on him, dude. Like, you see me, dude? Hassan was born in Boston, Massachusetts. The Turkish thing is a lie. All right. I feel like he would take the fight on that alone because he doesn't feel as like physically threatened or something like that. But
down, I took the L's, I let them talk shit, but we back now. Let's see what the fuck they gonna say now, pussies.
Pardon for the language. I know you're heated, but pardon for the language. Apologies for the language. Fusi, he looked destructive in there.
You were destructive tonight. How bad was it reading Twitter roast on you for 2 months straight? And was that the reason you trained and came back for this rematch? And how do you feel about it now? Do we need another one to make it?
I just realized they're playing fucking music with like I feel like I have to talk over the thing now because they're playing copyright music.
Now it's time to settle the score. We need to see who's actually the best of us. Trilogy coming next year. I don't know about this year because that's just way too much. But trilogy coming next year, and hopefully we'll both be way better boxers than we are now. We all started in March and April. That's how long we've been boxing. It's July. We've been really putting in work. And fuck all the niggas I was talking to.
Language. Apologies.
Fuck everybody that was talking on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? They're not the reason why I came
I like
back,
this guy. I think he's all right.
They motivated you. Well done, Corn. Congratulations. Crazy performance, brother. Well done. We'll see you again.
All right. Let's get that down because I care about Fusi. I like Fusi. I don't care about this guy. Now, Yeah, but I do think Hassan would probably take a fight with Brandon only because he's sitting here thinking like, oh, Brandon's not as strong as me, and it's like, actually, he probably is. Like, legit, he no joke probably is. You know, like strength isn't just muscle, right? And that's something that a lot of people don't quite understand. It's something that they don't want to understand, right? Now, muscle has something to do with strength. Don't get me wrong, but there's also dexterity, right? When it comes to, I'm trying to remember if there was another prelims fight, but when it comes to strength, right? There's a certain amount of dexterity that plays into it, right? Or there's a certain amount of strength that is made up by dexterity, right? How good you are at doing certain motions and things like that, right? This is why you'll have dudes that like, you know, they're lanky, they're not like right, but they're some of the strongest dudes that you'll ever see, right? Because in the moment, right, when they're doing whatever it is they're doing, they've been training that specific. They're training that specific motion, right? So somebody who's really good at doing this, they're really strong when they're doing that. They're not going to be as strong when it comes to like shooting in for a takedown or wrapping someone up and holding them and things like that. It's hard to explain, and I'm not even an expert on this, right? This is very much a anecdotal, I guess would be the word. This is just what I've noticed, right? This is just what I've seen. I'm not trying to speak from like a point of me being like, oh, I know this, I've studied this, right? This is just what I've seen. The bottom line is I think that Hassan would be a little bit more likely to take a fight with Brandon, even though it would probably be an even worse idea because Brandon is combat sports trained for longer than Sam is. And especially if he came up here to train, which I mean, we definitely, you know, I'd definitely be down to train him again. You know, if he came up here, we'd be working on different ways to help him, right? But anyway, Ian versus Brandon, that one's a little bit tougher because Ian is tough. Brandon's tough too, but that one's a little bit tougher because, you know, Ian has more boxing experience. He has more boxing experience than Brandon does, right? Oh nah, that's literally the end of the Happy Punch prelims. It's literally the end of the Happy Punch prelims because Alex Stein is no longer on the card. So that was, I have to say, that was pretty disappointing. You know, we clocked in at just under an hour with them. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Did Brandon Herrera fight? Who the hell is that? I don't know who that is. No, he's the first on the DAZN card. I don't think I'm going to do the DAZN card. I'm going to be honest with you. I was only really interested in the prelims specifically because I knew somebody fighting on them. I typically will save these for when I know somebody who's on the card. Either A, I've trained them, or B, I'm just cool with them. Either that, or if it's like a really interesting fight, right? If it's a really interesting fight, you know, like Boogie and Wings. I didn't know anyone on that card. But Boogie versus Wings, there's no way I'm gonna miss that. And of course I'm gonna stream it, because why not, right? You know, so that was cool. And you know, I had a good time with that. But yeah, so there we go. Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming Fallout New Vegas. If you want to go ahead and check that out, it's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the next Fight Companion stream I'm going to do is going to be for another card that I just find to be interesting, which is going to be Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. We're going to go ahead, we're going to do that. But that's in August. You know, we'll figure that out when the time, excuse me, we'll figure that out when the time comes. As for now, I'll just hang out, right? I'll hang out for a little bit. We'll see, we'll see if anybody has anything to say, stuff like that. We still have Vance versus Mo. Dude, that would have been great if we could have had Vance versus Mo. That would have been great. And the thing is, like, I feel confident in putting money on Vance because Vance is just, he's just, you know, he's very athletic, right? And you tell him to do something and he just does it, right? Now, is that going to translate in the middle of a fight? There's a potential that it's not, going to, right? We'll just be honest here. But like, it's enough as to where, given what I've seen of Mo Dean, which, no disrespect to him, I actually have like a great deal of respect for him for sticking up for, not necessarily sticking up for Alex Stein, but saying, hey, I don't want this fight to be off, you know? Let's keep this fight on. You know, what I've seen from Mo Dean in terms of fighting prowess, I'm not that impressed. Just being honest about it, right? Just being 100% honest. You know, it is what it is, though. I do think Vance would have more of a chance than we would assume, right? Than common sense would allow you to believe. There we go. I'm sitting here like watching this extra series episode 2 press conference day. They have this like reality show thing that's going on with B Dave and like all the weirdos who don't know how to hype their fights, you know. They have this weird thing. It ended up automatically going over to that video, so I'm sitting here like watching it like, what the hell is this stupid shit? Anyway, for Brandon, it would have to be genuine beef or anything that can help promote him as a content creator. Yeah. Brandon doesn't want to fight unless there's like legitimate beef there, you know. And that doesn't mean you can just like, that doesn't mean if you know, some dude was to like, you know, some dude with like 1 million followers was to hit him up and be like, you're a pussy. I don't think that's what that means, right? I don't know, maybe, but I don't think that's what that means. I think there's got to be like legitimate beef between the two, right? Like there's a reason why they don't like each other. Excuse me. You're gonna keep doing commentary? Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna do commentary for the Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz fight, right? I know I said that a second ago, but I figured I'd just go ahead and I'll say it again. Yeah, why did the Alex fight get called off? The Alex fight got called off because during the press conference, Alex was trying to hype the fight, and he brought a prop with him. Now, what was that prop? The prop was a bunch of turkey-based hot dogs. So, not pork hot dogs. No swine was involved. It was just turkey dogs, and that's it. Okay? And he threw the turkey dogs at Mo Dean. Now, Mo Dean is a Muslim. All right? That's kind of his content from what I understand. He just argues with people about Islam, right? And naturally, that's not like okay in their religion. So because of this, Misfits just decided that it was not going to go anymore, that they weren't going to have the fight anymore for some weird reason. I don't know why. Which sucks because, again, as I was saying, this is the fight game, dude. Like, anything that's said outside the ring is going to get solved inside the ring. You know, this is why someone like Chael Sonnen is so loved, because he talked smack, but he didn't do it from this weird. He didn't do it from this weird angle where like it was unlikable. First off, he was hilarious. Chael Sonnen was hilarious, and I would love to see him work with Sam. That is a crossover that people don't realize they need. Also, like Mike Perry and Sean Strickland, I would love to see them work with Sam on like something, you know, that would be fantastic, dude. I would love to see a Chael Sonnen, Sam Hyde, Candyman press conference, right? A pre-fight press conference. They don't even have to fight. Just bring them out, sit them down, and just have them do the press conference thing. That would be the greatest shit. But people love Chael Sonnen. Jeez. Excuse me. As I was saying, people love Chael Sonnen because he was able to talk smack and he was able to get people interested in his fights, and it was funny. All right? That's the issue that a lot of people have when it comes to smack talk, is that it's got to be funny, it's got to be creative, it's got to be something that makes you go, wow, who's this guy? I want to know more about him. I want to see if he can back it up. And if he can't back it up, then it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be good, because all is going to be right in the world, because this guy is talking mad smack. A lot of people think that hyping a fight is just, I'm going to punch you. They think that's what hyping a fight is, saying that at the press conference. And it's like, dude, everybody who showed up today that is sitting along with you at the press conference showed up with the same plan. They're just going to execute it on somebody different. You're going to do it to him. He's going to try and do it to you. She's going to try and do it to her. He's going to try and do it to him, etc., etc. There's nothing unique about you aside from who you are, aside from what you're going to say. So you better make it unique. And that's what I loved about Mo Dean versus Alex Stein from a pro wrestling standpoint, right? The things that they were doing and saying to each other were interesting. I wanted to see what happened next, you know? Alex Stein used a line that I've been saving. I've been saving this inside my head. He said he was going to take Mo Dean's virginity in the ring. And that is something for years I've been like, dude, let me get in front of a camera. Let me get in a press conference room. Put somebody sitting across the table from me or sitting down the table from me that I have to talk smack. And I'm going to say that. I'm going to be like, bro, I'm going to take your virginity in there. You better be ready. Right? You got to be creative, dude. Because everybody knows you're here to fight. You're not the only one with that plan. If you're just sitting here like, I'm going to punch you. I'm going to beat you in a fight. Ha! If that's your thing, it's annoying. It's boring. People don't care about you. They don't want to see you. And a lot of this other stuff too, like B Dave throwing a pie in Nick LMAO's face, like it's stupid, right? First off, not only is it stupid, it's also very planned. It's very clearly planned. The whole beef between Nick and what's his face, B Dave. I guarantee you, there's a DM somewhere, either on Twitter or there's a DM conversation on like Instagram, or maybe they have each other's numbers or something like that, and they're like, oh, dude, you know what you should do? You should throw a pie in my face, dude. Dude, throw a pie in my face. It's totally cool, bro. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna let you get a head start, and then I'm gonna start chasing you, and then the camera will cut off, and then we'll post it on the internet, and it'll be so good. And then the other one's like, oh yeah, dude, that is a good idea. And then you could take a picture with my girl, and you could like start talking smack about that. I guarantee you, there's something somewhere between those two coordinating the bullshit that they pull, and that's why it's so boring, right? There's no actual like trying to one up each other. There's no actual trying to get inside anyone's head or anything like that. There's no showmanship. It's all very clearly by consent, right? And again, in comparison, when we take this and we make it a foil to Alex Stein versus Mo Dean, there was no consent in there, right? The things Alex was saying about Mo Dean, even though he was really just trying to, he was trying to hype the fight. The things Alex was saying to Mo Dean were not things that Mo Dean was okay with. And the things that Mo Dean was doing and saying with Alex Stein were things that Alex was not okay with, right? And that's what makes it cool for a multitude of different reasons, right? Is the creativity, the willingness to go too far, because if you don't go too far, you're not going to be able to go far enough. And just like I feel like I already said creativity, but just the willingness to like put yourself out there in that way without even worrying about like, oh, is this is this going to make me look like the bad guy? Like just being willing to be the bad guy, essentially, right? The last thing I'll say on that before I start reading other ones, New Englanders, right? We're a very contentious bunch, and we're all very good at talking shit, right? That's just kind of what happens here. I don't know why. We just are the way that we are, right? We just talk mad shit, right? And what makes us such good shit talkers is the fact that we're funny about it. You want to hear what somebody has to say, right? When they're talking shit. And the reason why we're all so funny is because we know that if there's a group of 10 people and me and this guy have beef and I'm talking shit to him, right? I want everybody in the room on my side because that's going to be a boon for me. It's going to be +1 charisma or whatever, +1 charisma damage or whatever you would call it, right? A vicious mockery, right? It's going to be vicious mockery when I'm sitting here, I'm saying something that makes everybody in the room laugh, right? Because they're laughing with me and I'm laughing at you, which means they're laughing at you, So the whole room is now laughing at you because of that thing I said, which makes you mad, which is a benefit to me because you're going to act impulsively. You're going to act in a way that is not good. And I'm going to be, said both of them at the same time, cool, calm, and collected, and I'm going to be able to make the right choice. So while you're making the wrong choice, I'm making the right choice, right? So on and so forth, right? All of these people are just, they're too worried about like, oh, am I going to look like the bad guy? Oh no, oh, I don't want to look like the bad guy. Oh, right? That's what they're all too worried about. And because of that, like, it's boring, and I'm not even interested in the main card, you know? Let me know when Sam has another fight. Actually, I'll probably let you guys know, right? Let me know when I don't know, dude. Like, let me know when JonTron has a fight, right? Let me know when that happens. Anyway, is Sam good at Muay Thai? Why didn't he ask for boxing with Dr. Disrespect? I mean, I would assume he's good at Muay Thai. He and I have never done Muay Thai. I'll be honest with you. He and I have never done Muay Thai. We've only done boxing. You know, I'm interested to do Muay Thai with him, definitely. You know, if he does get a Muay Thai fight, or if he just decides, hey, I want to get some Muay Thai in, come on down, right? Does Vance have that killer instinct, though? I feel like Vance probably does, you know? Vance strikes me as a competitor, if I'm being honest with you. He strikes me as the kind of guy who he knows that he's got to go hard or go home when it comes down to the wire like that. You know, he strikes me as that kind of guy. You know, is that true? I don't know. I mean, I know he played baseball, which I know you're probably not thinking like, oh, that means fucking, that doesn't mean anything. Baseball sucks. Like, that's probably what you're thinking. But the thing is, baseball players are dickheads. And I know because I was a dickhead baseball player once. We are the biggest assholes to each other, right? We're always doing that thing to try and get under the other guy's skin. We're always doing that thing to try and get the competitive edge just that much, right? You'd be surprised how competitive baseball is, right? There's a reason why benches clearing incidents are common in baseball as opposed to like football or basketball or anything like that, right? There was like one benches clearing incident that everybody remembers, right, from basketball, and that was Ron Artest, right? That was like the big one, and then like basketball was like no more of that, right? When it comes to baseball, like people brawl on the field, they brawl on the pitcher's mound or at home plate or wherever it happens to be. You know, it just happens, right? You're expected when something pops off to get the hell out of the dugout and help out in whatever way you can, whether that's beating somebody up or if it's just trying to pull people apart, you know, bottom line. Pedro Martinez, Jason Varitek, two classic examples of baseball fights, right? But bottom line, I do think Vance would probably have that killer instinct if it came down to it, right? Uncle Cheo for Dust Bangers. That'd be the greatest thing. Have a Dust Bangers video where there's a press conference beforehand. Have a press conference in some weird fucking place, like at a baseball game. Like literally, like go to the local Babe Ruth field and set up a table like outside of a baseball game and just be like really boisterous. Right? Like, make everybody just, like, be like, what the hell is that? Like, some weird shit like that. Maybe not that specifically, but like, you know, really play into it, you know? That'd be really cool. Sam really had the most entertaining media presence leading up to the fight. It was great seeing normies being uncomfortable and confused. Dude, that was so great. There was a moment, I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but, excuse me. Before this, I scarfed down some food and I was drinking soda, so I'm like gassy. But yeah, there's something somewhere, right? They had these like normie influencers, right? These like TikTokers that were doing you know, interviews and stuff like that. And Sam, after the press conference, I believe, or maybe it was the weigh-in, he ends up walking around and the people see him, right? And there was this one dude, I think he was like Indian or Pakistani or something like that. You know, he was kind of like South Asian descent. Seemed like he was a little bit light in the loafers, I'm going to be honest with you. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying. he was like so scared of Sam that when the people called him over for an interview, you could see how scared he was, for one thing. And then after that, he leaves, and the guy is like, "Why did you do that? Why did you call him over here? Why'd you do that?" Like, he was legit shook, bro. And it's like, yo, like, unprofessional. That was unprofessional, my friend. Anyway, once Vance takes the pill, there's no going back. Exactly. He'll be back in 12 hours, and what he does from that point to 12 hours later, he cannot be held reliable. He cannot be held liable. Baseball players throwing down over some slight is so much fun to see. Yeah, it's always so great. Dude, there was you know what? You know what we're doing now? You know what we're going to do now? Since it's up, we're going to go ahead. We're going to look up man, dude, this is the greatest, dude. This is the greatest, dude, right? I don't want to spoil it, right? I think Coco Crisp was boxing, right? Now, a lot of these fights that I remember, they're Red Sox fights, because I was raised in Massachusetts, right? The Red Sox are a way of life out here. And man, just the way I'll just show it to you, man. I'll just show it to you. Yeah, you know, we'll do the actual video.
Shields hits Crisp, and Coco's gonna head out. Here we go.
Slip, bang, dude. Just slipped and ripped. That was great. Oh man, baseball fights are so cool, man. We're gonna look up some of the Red Sox ones. If you have any what's it called?
And just like that, it turns into fight night.
If you have any why can't I think of the name? Believe it or not, I'm not punch drunk. I had a sickness when I was a kid, right? And one of the side effects of that sickness is that sometimes I just fucking blank on the word that I'm looking for. It's like crazy, you know? I've been like that ever since I was like young, you know, since after I ended up having that sickness that I could have fucking died from. Anyway, if you have any suggestions, all right, definitely leave them. Definitely leave them. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll dedicate a stream to sports fights specifically, right? Like hockey fights and stuff like that too. But for now, we're gonna stick to baseball fights. We'll let this one go on for a little bit longer. Then I got a couple more we'll look up. Oh man, I'm trying to see if I can identify all these old players I used to watch. Like I just saw Mike Lowell. I was a third baseman mainly, so like Mike Lowell was one of my favorites. Yeah, that's that shit where it starts all over again because everybody's trying to break it up, but somebody breaks it up a little bit too hard, and all of a sudden punches start flying again.
It was going to happen. It's just a matter of when it was going to happen, and it happened right in his first at bat. You know, sometimes it's almost smarter to wait a while. That time they go right after Coco Crisp the first time out. And quite frankly, I was surprised to see Coco go to the mound.
They're just hugging each other.
Fired up as they finally get him out from underneath the pile.
Coco Crisp. Oh man. I remember when he got signed to the Red Sox. It was like, it was like big what was it? It was like big news for some reason, you know. They were saying that he was going to be the best ever for some reason. I don't know why, but like, you know, he was a really good player, but definitely not the best ever, right? Oh, dude. Let's see. Jason Varitek, A-Rod, GIF. This one was great because I hated Alex Rodriguez. I hated everybody in Boston hated A-Rod. We respected Jeter. We hated A-Rod. All right. And this is one of the reasons, right? In fact, we'll watch it real quick.
Off the end of the bat.
This is why we hate A-Rod. See, he literally slapped the ball, which and Duh. I haven't played baseball in so long. I forgot the rules. If you tag somebody but then drop the ball like in the act of or like immediately after, you're not considered out. You're considered safe, right? The issue is the umpire didn't see that he actually slapped the glove, which is illegal. That is, I believe, interference, if I remember correctly. There's no real fouls, right? There's no real penalties in baseball, right? But the few that exist, like they're almost like esoteric, you know. All right, this is the one. This is the one right here. Oh man. All right, here we go.
Alex Rodriguez is drilled and
See that slight little grin? See the little grin?
and we know what he said. Here we go.
It didn't even have the close up. Or maybe it wasn't video, maybe it was picture.
Schilling is right in the middle of it. Now another fight off to the side.
Kurt Schilling. Dude.
Millar is in it. Nixon is in it.
These are so fun to watch, man. Dude, Kurt Schilling. He lives in Rhode Island, if I remember correctly. Those clips of hitters getting beaned for flipping their bat is cathartic. Yeah, it's
gonna take forever.
It's nice when you're a pitcher and you hit someone on purpose. Makes you wonder what they were yelling at each other. Well, I mean, at one point, Rodriguez was yelling, "Fuck you." I know that. Oh, dude. This is the other one. This is the other one. Pedro Martinez, Family Feud. What?
Sturz is bleeding from the left ear.
Wait, what? Huh? Did Don Zimmer die? That's crazy. Anyway, they have a breakdown of this. Oh man. So for those of you that don't know, Don Zimmer was the manager for the New York Yankees. This was 2003. Pedro. Well, I mean, I'll just show it to you. But Don Zimmer was. Yeah, Don Zimmer was the manager for the Yankees. Dude's got a mouthful of red man, dude. A mouthful of red man. He's got the shit that it's not even dip, it's literal like tobacco leaves that you chew gum, you throw the leaves in and you chew the gum with the leaves in it. That's what he's got.
Back in August. Now Joe Torre.
Well, they warned both benches.
I guess it must have nicked the helmet. I thought it hit
See,
his bat too.
2003, 2004, the Red Sox were playing for the ALDS. No, was it the DS or the CS? I forget. But it was the playoffs, right? And I mean, the Sox and the Yankees are like, you know, they're like, it's the greatest rivalry in sports, kid. You know. And this is why. That's Manny Ramirez right there. There's David Ortiz trying to hold him back. And you're going to see Don Zimmer gets chucked. He gets tossed. There's Pedro. What? He gets him with the snap down. He's like, you old fuck. What do you think you're doing? Get out of here. And it's funny because you see no torsion on his neck, right? You don't see his head do that or anything like that, right? He gets up, he's all good, and then later at the press conference, he's wearing a neck brace for literally no reason. No reason at all. Oh, here's the replay. Boink. Man, baseball. Oh, wait. Is this a Sox game? I'm not sure. We'll go ahead. I'll see if there's any. Scott, what do you think of Gordon Ryan? I don't think of Gordon Ryan. He's really great at jiu-jitsu, right? I'm sure. Is this even playing? Oh, he's really great at jiu-jitsu, right? When it comes down to it, you know, and I have respect for that. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, I'm not just a jiu-jitsu guy. I am an MMA guy, if you want to call it that. you know, I don't really watch jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu's boring, man. If we're just being honest, jiu-jitsu's like pretty boring. You know, I don't have any beef with people who are just straight up jiu-jitsu guys as long as they're not dickheads, right? But that's kind of the issue, is a lot of them are dickheads. And actually, you know what, Gordon Ryan is kind of a dickhead, if we're being honest here. He's haughty. He's clearly on roids, right? And it's just, I don't have that much respect for the guy. I'll just be honest with you, you know? And that's part of the reason I don't think about him, because it's like, whatever, if I don't respect him that much, why would I think about him that much, right? He's a pure grappler in a world where if you pull guard or if you end up on bottom in a street fight, you're going to end up getting pounded. That's just how it is, right? And, I mean, that says enough, right? And before anyone says anything, I have more respect for Muay Thai guys and boxers and kickboxers, etc., because at the end of the day, these guys are putting more on the line, right? You catch me in an armbar and I tap, you let go of the armbar, right? You catch me in a rear naked choke, I tap, you let go of the choke. Either that or, you know, you put me out, but I wake up just fine, right? 9 times, like more than 9 times out of 10, 99.99999 repeating percent of the time, everything's all good. There's literally no difference from before you got choked out to after you got choked out, right? That's not the same as boxing, right? That's not the same as Muay Thai or anything like that, right? It's different because in order to lose the fight, you have to be concussed to some degree. Excuse me. And, you know, because of that, when it comes to dudes like Gordon Ryan, when it comes to dudes like Danaher, Cornelius, you know, things like that, I don't have anything bad to say about the other two guys, right? I don't even really have anything bad to say about Gordon Ryan necessarily either, right? It's just, when I see people hyping these guys up, it's just like, I just think like, oh, well, I mean, yeah, sure, like, they're really good at what they do, but they're only good at what they do. That's it. You know, a jack of all trades and a master of none, but still better than a master of one. That's honestly kind of how fighting is, right? At the end of the day. But yeah, anyway. CRISPR super mutant children will replace the need for doping. I think Cuba actually made a few. Yeah, Cuba made a few. One of them is named Yoel Romero. All right, I'll watch a couple of these and then I'll read a few more of those and then I'll hop off.
Whoa! History.
These guys are getting, like, that was an almost 100-mile. Wow, nice throw, bud. Oh man. But oh, there was a Nolan Ryan one. I'll see if it's in here, and if it's not, I'll go ahead and I'll show it to you guys after. But in fact, you know what? Alright, there we go.
And that goes back to the playoffs.
Anyway, shoot, what was I saying?
And that was intentional in my mind.
Dude, I literally lost my train of thought as to what I was saying before that. Was I saying anything? I hope so. I want to see Sam fight Muay Thai, just see him do the dance. Oh, dude, the Ram Muay Y crew. Oh, dude, David Ortiz. That's pretty good. I've never seen David Ortiz throwing punches. I don't remember this one. This is one that I don't remember. Who's throwing punches? You see, it's like I said, like, wow, and it was 10-3. No wonder why they were trying to hit him. It's 10-3 in the bottom of the 8th. They're like, you know what, fuck this. We're just trying to hurt people now.
Now the question is, would they throw David Ortiz out of the game for making a move toward the mound?
But make Jerry Remy. We used to call that guy Rem Dog.
Hand out warnings, which seems reasonable. 3-0 pitch. David lifts it in the air to shallow right. And
here we
Ortiz.
Go.
Ortiz going out and it's time to fight.
He's like, fuck it. Oh, man. None of them landed, but it's just so hilarious seeing these guys throwing punches like that. It's just so great.
Greg said something to Ortiz as he popped out, wanted him to run, and then Ortiz ran right out at him.
Now watch Greg after the
Oh,
contact.
they have the
Run down to first base. Run down to first base.
I think they threw the pitcher out. They threw the pitcher out right before Ortiz started running towards him. Like, watch the umpire. Oh, never mind. You can't watch the umpire. Oh, you saw him a little bit.
There's that left uppercut that just missed.
That's great, dude. That's great. Alright, we'll watch this one real quick.
Look at this. And the benches have cleared. There is a melee on the infield. Nolan Arenado had a ball go behind him. He threw his helmet down, ran toward the pitcher's mound. Perdomo threw his glove down. Bench is cleared.
That's the only thing that sucks about it, is that, like, when punches are thrown, it can be tough to see sometimes. Like, you saw one get thrown, but, you know, everybody's in the, you know.
Trying to calm him down. Far from intentional, got hit. And that one had purpose.
Yeah, like, baseball players are high strung as hell, because we're just always like trying to fuck with each other all the time. So it's hard to get hit and not think it was on purpose sometimes.
Where this pitch is. Actually, I thought it was a little higher than that. But
the Rockies have had it. I mean,
they've had it. They're frustrated right now.
Scott, is it a good idea to train BJJ after an ankle sprain? If I'm careful, it still hurts to fully extend 4 months later. You got to be careful with injuries, dude. For just being honest. You know, I'm not gonna say no, right? But you're gonna know your body better than I do at the end of the day. You know, if it comes down to it and you feel like it's a good idea, then I'm not gonna tell you not to. I'm just saying be careful. You know, you should really be trying to nurse that thing back to health. That's kind of my issue with injuries and stuff like that. Is that I don't do anything about them. I just kind of let them sit there, and I'm like, it'll heal. But like, what I need to do is ice things. Like my whole life, I never believed ice worked, right? Because you know, I'd get a headache, and my parents would be like, just throw an ice pack on your head, and it wouldn't work, you know. And I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Fuck this, you know. So I kind of have that feeling towards ice in general, right? But like, if I end up hurting myself, right? Like if I strain, you know, a tendon or like a muscle, which sometimes I do when I'm throwing punches at the bag bare knuckle, right? It happens on occasion. If I fill up a bowl with like ice water and I just dip it in and I sit there for like, you know, between 5 and 10 minutes and I pull it out and then like maybe repeat that like again, and maybe depending on how things go, I can, what can I do? Depending on how things go, I'll, you know, do it again the next day. Like, it's incredible how quickly it heals, right? So yeah, just be careful, man. Nurse the injury back to health. All right, that's what I'm saying. I have an idea to fix baseball. Put a designated hitter in the outfield, and if he can hit the ball back out of the park the other way, it's worth 1 point. I like that idea. Just have him, if there's a home run, just have him with a bat in the ball and just, and if it goes all the way back, I like that. All right, we're going to look up this Nolan Ryan fight, then we'll chill for a little bit. Yeah, you can already tell by the thumbnail, this is a good one.
Here's Ventura, RBI single in the first. Watch out. Look at this.
Nolan Ryan was like in his 40s at this point, if I remember correctly, too. He's one of those guys that kept fighting. Jeez. He's one of those guys who kept pitching long after he was, like, expected to. You know? If I remember correctly, he was old in this video. I might be wrong, right? You know, Nolan Ryan is a, you know, I never really watched him. I might not even have been alive at this time, right? I don't even know. But you know, he's a legend of the game. He's a name that you hear when you're a baseball kid, you know. Oh, we got the body lock right here.
And one after Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, you could tell he was kind of old there. I want to see the other angle because they have another angle of it that they show where you just see he's absolutely getting the best of him.
No question. You know, Robin's been hitting that spot. That's at least the second time, and he delayed for a second. There they go.
Yeah, I could have swore they had the other I could have swore they had the other angle.
Turns Nolan around and gets him in a spot, as there's Garcia and Lamont going at it.
Yes. Here it is. That's just like, that's that like high school bully shit. Just hitting him on the top of the head.
Well, you can see that
It's like he's giving him a fucking noogie.
On the top of his head, so he probably
that's
hurt his
hilarious,
hand
dude.
a little bit in that thing, and he did get one good lick in on an uppercut.
And the referees, all the what the fuck, the commentators all of a sudden become fight commentators now. How do you feel about the prime LeBron versus John Jones meme? Basketball players are the least athletic athletes out there. Like, a lot of people don't realize that, you know? What they do is very one-dimensional. They run, they jump, and that's it, right? Yeah, you have some guys with ball handling skill and stuff like that, but, like, a lot of, like, ball handling skill does not translate into, like, legitimate athleticism, right? And that's why, his name was Nate Robinson, I believe. That's why Nate Robinson, a lifelong athlete, got starched by Jake Paul. Right, and to my recollection, it was like kind of a joke the way he was thrown and stuff like that, right? You know, these basketball players think because they can shoot a basketball, it means that like they can shoot a three, that it means they can do other things, and it's like, nah, you can't. It's like I said, you are the least athletic athletes in sports. Even soccer creates better athletes because there's more to soccer than just we're gonna run down and I'm going to pass, and I'm going to jump for the rebound, or I'm going to jump and I'm going to shoot the ball, or I'm going to do a layup, haha, right? That's just how basketball is. You don't need to be an athlete to play basketball, right? And be, like, decent at it, right? I'm not saying you're going to be on at the NBA All-Star game. I'm not saying that, right? You need to put a lot into playing basketball to get to the height that someone like LeBron did, but LeBron put all he min-maxed his way to superstardom and fame and riches and things like that, right? And there's nothing wrong with that at all. You know, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying that's what happened, because that's what you're doing in basketball. You're min-maxing your way to athleticism, you know? That's the reason why basketball is played by tall dudes typically. Is because the taller you are, the less natural athleticism and the less talent you actually need. That's why Shaq couldn't shoot fucking free throws. Is because he never showed up to practice, right? He just skated by on being really tall. Yao Ming, same thing. I don't know about the free throws problem. I'm pretty sure he also kind of had an issue with free throws, if I remember correctly. I'm not a basketball guy. I just happen to know a little bit about like certain people. You know, he was just really fucking tall, and that's it. That's all it was, you know? You don't need to be an athlete to be a basketball player, right? And because of this, or you don't need to be as much of an athlete to be a basketball player, all right? I don't want people taking what I'm saying out of context here. And because of this, like, when people say, oh, dude, if you took LeBron, dude, and you put him in any sport, kid, dude, he'd fuck up everybody, bro. He'd be a problem, dude. Like, when people say that, it's just like, yo, you don't know anything. You don't know nothing about anything, right? It's stupendously dumb. It's stupendously stupid to sit here and say that LeBron would be able to walk his way into any other sport other than basketball. He's got basketball. He got it on lock, all right? But he doesn't have anything else. You know, that's all he's got. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom. athleticism versus willing to be hit are two different things, and that is also true. Baseball is mostly standing around, though. I would say basketball is more athletic than that. But you see, baseball is a lot more athletic than you realize it is, okay? There's sudden bursts in baseball. You're standing around, but then bang, you got to go, right? That takes a certain amount of athleticism. It takes explosiveness, especially if you play the outfield. You have to be able to use your hand-eye coordination to track a ball that is. I don't have a baseball around me. I'm trying to find something that's this can of tuna, right? A baseball is going to be smaller than this can of tuna. You have to have the athleticism, right, to see a ball off of a bat from about 150 feet away, track that ball in the air, run to exactly where it's going to hit the ground, and then use your hand to catch it, right? That takes a level of skill and athleticism. It takes a level of dexterity that a lot of basketball players don't have. I'm not saying that basketball is not a dexterous sport, right? You need to have a certain degree of dexterity to shoot a ball into a basket, right? But the hardest thing to do in sports, in the main sports, right? If you take boxing and MMA out of it, the hardest thing to do in sports is to hit a baseball, because the baseball is coming in this way, your bat is coming in this way, it's coming at 90 miles an hour or more, typically more. People are throwing upwards of 100 miles an hour nowadays. It's insane. It's crazy. You're only 60 something feet away, and somebody's throwing 100 miles an hour, and you have to pick the ball up out of the guy's hand, know that it's a pitch that's worth swinging at in the first place. You have to swing the bat, hit it, and then you got to run. The amount of hand-eye coordination, the amount of explosiveness, the speed, the power, etc., and then combine that with different fielding positions and stuff like that, you'd be very, very surprised how athletic baseball is. But because it's such a start and stop kind of sport, because it's a sport that every now and again you see a fat guy playing first base, right? And he bats cleanup as well. Like, people seem to think that it's not that kind of sport. But it is, right? It's not a sport you're going to get mad tired in. Don't get me wrong. You're typically never going to be tired in baseball. I'll be honest with you. I used to be a fat boy. I am a fat boy. I am a fat boy. But like, I'm talking like 240 pounds of like not even muscle. I was just straight up like fat back then. And running from home plate to first would still not like fuck me up. You know, now first to second, don't get me wrong, that's 180 feet. You know, I'm starting to feel it at that point, right? But you know, you're not going to get that tired playing baseball. But baseball, in my opinion, is definitely a lot more athletic than basketball, right? If I'm just being 100% honest with you, you know, I don't think baseball gets the respect it deserves as an athletic sport. And a lot of the training that you'll do for baseball is not just baseball specific stuff. It's going to be stuff that is meant to build athleticism in and of itself, you know. I've played baseball before. I know the difference. I guess it's different for everybody, but me personally, it was very boring and slow paced. Did you play baseball for as long as I did, though? Like, not to be like, you don't know, man. Like, you know, I played baseball till I was like 16, right? And around like the 7th or 8th grade, if you took baseball as seriously as I did, and as seriously as my brother, I have a brother, as serious as my cousins did, my cousin got fucking drafted by the Diamondbacks, right? I don't believe he's playing for them anymore. I mean, I've shared him on my Instagram, you know. He's not playing for their farm team anymore. He's somewhere else now. But if you took it as seriously as we did, you know that around like the 7th and 8th grade is when they really start to take it serious. You're no longer just like some booger-eating kid out in the outfield. You're no longer playing for the Rhode Island back pain. All right, you're no longer playing for you know. You're no longer playing on teams with booger guys and stuff like that, right? You know, and if you are, like, even then, you're still taking it serious. Like, it's not considered to be a joke from like, you know, 12 years old and up. Like, if you're playing, typically you're trying to be as good as you can, and because of that, you're doing stuff that is going to improve your athleticism overall, if that makes sense, And like, hey, maybe you know this too, dude. I'm not trying to be like, you don't know because you only played Little League. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do right now. I'm just trying to, if you do know, then I'm just explaining it to everybody who doesn't know, Did you hear Strickland say that if there was NFL money in MMA, the USA would be untouched by the rest of the world? What do you think about that? I think it's mostly true to a degree. And there's things that I didn't even consider when it comes down to that, right? I'll be honest with you. Like, when it comes to what he was saying about, like, if you make $20,000 on a fight and you go back to Boise, Idaho, you're going to have to spend that money on a bunch of stuff. But if you make $20,000 on a fight and go back to Rio de Janeiro, right, that money's going to last you a lot longer. You're going to be living a lot better there than you would here in America, right? That's something that I legit never even considered, right? And I think it's true. I think he's correct, right? I'll be honest with you. There's so many fighters that are not able to break through, that are not able to make something of it, not because they are bad fighters, not because they couldn't hang, but because they're sitting there and they have to work a part-time job or even a full-time job and train. So they work this job, they train, and then they go into the fight and they get creamed by some guy who, like, either A, he was only working a part-time job, or B, he wasn't working a job and he was just training all day and night, right? That's the power of money in combat sports. If you have the money to fund a training camp, you don't need to work a job, which means you have more time to dedicate to your camp, right? Which means overall you're going to be better on fight day. And if you take a guy who's working a part or full-time job and put him up against somebody who's not, all they have to do all day is train. They train for 6 to 8 hours a day. My money's going to be on the guy with the full training camp every time, right? I think it's very accurate, right? To put it plainly, I think it's very accurate, and it's kind of like I said, like, it's insane the way that we are. Like, we breed athletes over here, and we don't even do it in a government-funded way, If you go over to China, right, like there's this guy, his name's Yi Long, right? I'll show you who Yi Long is, right? Yeah. You're gonna know this guy right away, right? You're gonna know this guy right away because this is like his. I mean, look, 18 million views. This is his like thing, right? He's known for being the Shaolin monk, even though he's not really a Shaolin monk, right? And then he's just like, oh, all right, whatever. You want to hit me? Go ahead, right? Yep. So that's Yi Long, all right? Now, a lot of people don't know he's not a Shaolin monk. You can actually look stuff up about him on Ramsey Dewey's channel. He talks a little bit about Yi Long, and I also believe he had a podcast with him at one point. Yi Long was studying at a Sanda University, a literal, like, martial arts university, but he wasn't doing as well as they wanted him to, so they expelled him from it. Now, Ramsey talks about this, right? When you get kicked out of a school like that, it's not that like you're a bad person. It's not that you are it's not that you're like, it's nothing like, it's not a judgment of your character. It's not a judgment of you as a person or anything like that, like it is in America, right? It's literally that they only want the best going to that school because it is a government-funded school, and they're trying to make the best athletes that they can so that those athletes can go and compete on the world stage, right? So since Yi Long did not do as well as they wanted him to, they said, all right, see ya, kid. You're out of here. Good luck. I hope you figure something out, right? And not to be deterred, he ended up taking fights. And, he made a name for himself bigger than a lot of Chinese fighters, right? I can name a couple of Chinese fighters. One of them is like Fang Bian or something like that. He's a Sanda guy. There's Wei Li Zhang, right? Zhang Wei Li, however you say her name. Kung Li. That's about it, right? Yi Long is one of the ones that broke through because of the way that he was, right? But he was not considered to be one of the best in China, therefore he got kicked out. Now, in America, we don't do it that way. Oh man, I just realized. Wow, silly me. I forgot to pull this down, but this is Yi Long. All right, this is Yi Long. Anywho. Anywho. Yi Long was not considered to be one of the best in China, right? And because of that, he got kicked out of that school. Now, he ended up doing his own thing, and he did a lot better overall than a bunch of different fighters in China that went through that government program. But the thing is, he isn't being sponsored by the Chinese government, right? At least I would assume not. Maybe by now he is to some degree, right? But he was not a Chinese government-sponsored fighter. I'm not saying I know for sure, but I'm willing to bet that Zhang Wei Li, we'll just call her Wei Li, right? Well, I'm willing to bet that Wei Li probably was a graduate of one of those fighting universities, one of those athletic universities. I'm willing to bet. I haven't looked that deep into her, right? But I don't think it is. I don't think it's a coincidence, right? That she's kind of like the Chinese fighter, like the Chinese fighter, right? She definitely made a name for herself in China as one of the best fighters in the country, and then she was sent out to be on the world stage, and they were probably like, hey, we want you in the UFC because you're going to be an example of Chinese supremacy, right? And because of that, here she is now, right? The fact that our people who were, people are born here and they go to school and they train on the side, and then they work and they train on the side, or typically they won't work and train on the side, but every now and again you have something like that, right? The fact that we can have people who they don't spend their entire lives doing martial arts. They start as a hobby when they're 11 or 12, right? The fact that we have people like that who are able to beat people who from the age of 7 or 8, all they did was just live and breathe Sanda, right? The fact that we have people who can beat those people, like Rose Namajunas, for instance, right? She one-pieced Wei Li with a head kick, right? That was insane, and it is insane to think about, right? Same thing with Muay Thai, right? Thai boxers, right? They're basically sponsored by their gyms, right? These gyms kind of act as independent sports universities, right, in Thailand. They're not government funded or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's just these are self-sustaining businesses that will take kids in as investments, right? So you'll have a 7 or 8 year old kid and his dad will drop him off and be like, I want him to become a fighter. And that kid, they'll train the kid. And if the kid doesn't do well enough, they'll be like, you can't fight for us anymore, man. It ain't working out. You're just not doing... Our gym has a reputation, man. We need wins. We need winners. You're just not winning. Sorry, kid. You're out of here. That's a thing in Thailand. And that's one of the reasons why so many Thais are as good as they are, is because these guys, they're the best that their gym could have. Anyone who was not the best, basically they got told, sayonara, get the hell out of here, right? And it doesn't make any sense that you can have these people who there's no guarantee that they're going to compete on the world stage. There's no guarantee that they're the best in the country or anything like that. And there's no backing. They're not getting money or anything like that. These are all amateurs that one day they'll go pro. Sometime they'll go pro, right? To have these people who they're beating the people who are groomed from the age of 7 or 8 by either governments or gyms and things like that. To have that is insane. And it's like I said on Twitter. I've talked about a couple of things that I've spoken about briefly on Twitter in this stream. That is the true testament, right, to the American spirit, right, to American grit, is in our athleticism, right? Because again, we have no business. We have no business beating Russian wrestlers, right? Or Iranian wrestlers or Chinese Sanda people or anything like that. We have no business doing that. And yet we consistently are able to stay competitive. When it comes to the Olympics, we're always in first or second in terms of medal counts, right? When it comes to combat sports, especially, we tend to do very well, right? It's crazy, you know? It really is crazy. But I'll go ahead. I'll see if there's any more, and I'll probably get out of here after that. It's been almost 2 hours. I wanted to cap it around like a minute. What the hell? An hour, like 15, an hour 20. You have a very cozy stream. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank Ducks. I really appreciate that. Oh, by the way, if you guys could like the stream as well, I'd really appreciate that. Also, if you guys could like share streams of mine and stuff like that too. I know we're literally getting ready to log off and shit like that, but I don't know if you've got somewhere where you could share the VOD of this stream. I guess I'd appreciate it. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, I guess that's that. I've also heard in Thailand, if they see a kid with good hands, they pull them out of Muay Thai and teach them boxing because there's way more money in it. Oh yeah, I believe it. I believe it. The thing about Muay Thai, right? There is spirituality in it. It is beautiful, right? And it is a traditional art, right? It's intertwined with Thailand, but modern Muay Thai is all about money. How are you going to make money? Are you going to make money betting on the fights? Are you going to make money as a fighter? Are you going to make money as a gym owner, etc., right? What'll happen, and if you do this in America, that is a big no-no, right? If you do this in America, it's a big no-no. But you'll have fights go on, right? Where if you and I were fighting, right? If you, the person at home, and me were fighting, right? We'd get into the ring, we'd do our Y crew, the dance, right? We'd be doing that shit. And someone from our corner, someone from our gym would be putting in bets on us, right? They might be doing it in like round 1, round 2 as well, right? There's actually a story with John Wayne Parr. He got yelled at by his camp because he went in there and he knocked the guy out in like round 1 or 2. And they were like they were mad at him for it. He was like, "Yeah, I won. Yeah, I won. I won the fight." Right? But his camp was like, "Yeah, you won the fight too quick, dude. You knocked him out too quick. We couldn't bet on you. We were trying to bet money on you, and we couldn't do that, dude. What the hell is your problem?" They were like legit pissed at him for it. I don't believe what they say, I'm sure the Thais, they strike me as very cool people. Thailand seems like a really cool place. There is abject poverty there, right? And a lot of people are money hungry. That's just how it is, right? Including Muay Thai instructors, right? Thank you, Fight Frog. I really appreciate that. I'll probably get out of here. Yeah, I'll probably get out of here now. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I really appreciate it. Also, Fallout New Vegas stream tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, okay?